Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another GSL qualifying match. Today we have in the bottom right, spawning as our blue Protoss player, playing for Team NV, it is Creator. And in the top left, as our red Terran player, playing for my G, it's Bunny. Indeed, we have some beautiful GSL replays here provided to us by the GSL, on their Patreon of course. And we see Creator opening up with a relatively late scout, for starters. Quick little gas, most likely according to Nexus. Now, Bunny is someone that I haven't seen play a whole lot. I don't know if he's been a little bit more inactive, maybe, you know, he's been doing other things in his life, going to school or having a good old time not playing some StarCraft 2. I haven't seen him play all that much. And we're gonna have to wait and see what the impact of that is going to be. Now, even if you do practice but don't play any tournaments, often you do become a bit worse because you're just not, you know, measuring yourself up against the best of the best. Ladder is always going to be very different than tournament, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, this Zealot is being sent out across the map most likely. Usually I'm not a very big fan of it, but in this particular situation, which Creator finds himself, I think it might be okay, as we see Bunny with a Reaper first opener without a scout. So that means that this Zealot is going to arrive at a similar time as the first Adept, most likely. And there is a possibility that you delay this CC just by a tiny tad. Zealot might get spotted here by the Reaper, but could also... No, just gonna dodge it. Nice movement so far. So this Adept is just gonna make its way across the map. And the bunker won't quite be done yet, I think. Well, it's a little bit away at least. We'll just finish up. Okay, so this is not that big of a deal, actually. Good start here for Bunny. Once again, the Zealot is not going to work out. So, usually I say, well, the Zealot is an awful plan. This time I kept an open mind. I was like, okay, you know what? This is probably the best scenario that the Zealot can have. What happens? The Zealot walks across the map and walks into a bunker. Achieves absolutely nothing except delaying your own build order, having to cut 1 or 2 workers, delaying your second gas most of the time as well. So yeah, pretty crap situation all around. Love to see it. Should have just stick with my guns. Just said, okay, Zealot first. That's absolute garbage. Because it really is. Terrible unit. You're useless. It's not bullying, it's telling the truth. What do we have behind this? We have a third gateway. Twilight Council coming in. Cyclone as a follow-up. So Bunny believes this is going to be a Stargate build. I don't believe this is going to be a Stargate build because I see that the Twilight Council is building. You also, most of the time I think, when people open up with a Zealot and there is a Nexus, I guess he doesn't know there's a Nexus, but if it's a Zealot first and there is a Nexus, it almost never is going to be a Stargate. And the reason for that is because your second gas tends to be a little bit delayed. So you're expecting things that are less gas heavy, like a Twilight Council, sometimes even a Robo, or any type of 3-gate pressure, which is exactly what we're seeing here. Bunny is prepared with that as well, of course, though, with this Cyclone. So it's perhaps going to get a little bit lucky because of that. I don't think he really... Wait, well, it's going to move out. God, this is a risky move. Just literally lets his natural unattended after seeing a bunch of Adepts there. Well, I mean, it's allowed. It's just a risky move. It's going to pay off. We'll be able to go across the map pretty rapidly here. 3 Stalkers are now moving across as well. These units are just barely gonna miss each other. So far, I'm liking Bunny's position just a tiny tad more than I like Creator's. Matter of fact, here is going to get spotted as the Cyclone unloads. Stalkers from the back now coming home. 2 more Stalkers do get warped in. Don't forget, there's no third base quite yet here for Creator. Creator starts moving on the map. It's gonna be out of position if he ain't careful. Even if he is careful, if his units are on the map, he'll still be out of position. Nexus now goes down. The problem here being, of course, that... Well, actually, there's no third barracks yet, so maybe there's not that big of a problem quite yet. See this drop in the main base. 1 Stalker will go down against the Cyclone. Marines taking out a couple of these probes as well. So I think so far in this game, 3 workers have been killed. Ooh! Cyclone tried to get another lock on there on that Stalker, but Stalker walked just out of range. Templar Archives get thrown down as we're on 4 gases. It's going to be a bit of a storm rush here. Ooh, Blink Stalkers. Nope, not quite going to get that medevac. Was semi-close though. Semi-close. Almost was in the, you know, in the correct location. Just a couple of meters off. Even then, you don't have blink, so you're not gonna get it. But it would have been nice to shoot it at least once. So we see a creator still looking for that medevac. Now gonna find it. Could get a couple of big hits on that. Blinks in. And that means that as a result, it's gonna lose one stalker. And the medevac, well, will also die. Guess Bunny stood around just idling for a bit too long there with his units and his medevac. Though that medevac did provide a decent service here to Bunny's position in this game. Raven now trying to go across the map. Is gonna get spotted here. Yep, by this gateway. Creator with an immediate response. Moving down with those blink stalkers. See a rerouting of the Raven. More towards the top right side. Same time, Bunny now moves out on the map with his entire army. In a way, this Raven really helping him out. Because stalkers now are looking for that Raven. And as a result, this army can do whatever it wants without really being harassed. Look at this, he's still waiting. Oh, still waiting for that Raven to kind of show up here on the bottom side. It's never gonna show up. It's gone. Vanished into thin air. Bunny the Magician does it again. He's gonna keep that Raven around. There's not going to be 2 storms actually, is there? Will that be in time for this push? I don't think so. Blink Stalkers really need to start delaying this by quite a bit. Mine almost dies as 2 Marines do end up falling. Look how tiny his army is over here. He is nothing. Okay, we do get 1 Archon being morphed in. Don't forget, this Reaper Wall could still go down as well. Storm. Still more than 20 seconds away from finishing up right now. This Gate and Cybercore will need to... Well, they'll just die, most likely. I was gonna say they'll need to defend themselves, but... back in the day, you could photon overcharge pilots. It would be sick if you could photon overcharge every building. I'm pretty sure you can do that in some of the co-op missions as well. Now, that would be a good buff that I would, completely support. Charge is about to finish up here as well, so Bunny really giving a bit too much time. Of course, Bunny didn't know, but just because he didn't know doesn't mean it's not a mistake. Bunny didn't know. Bunny didn't know. What? Did he just storm himself? Oh no. Okay, so he'll have, 2 storms remaining still, but just on a single Templar. Ghosts are not out quite yet. Triple drop heading out towards the main base, in which, nothing is there to defend. Here we have this rotation coming out of Bunny. There's a couple of mines. And I think... first of all, this army might almost be good enough to beat the entire army of Creator, but Creator also still needs to defend the main base. Has a pre-split already with a couple of these Templars. Is definitely going to end up needing that. Zell is running around the map now, trying to go in for some run-bys. We'll get a bunch of SCV kills, which is kind of big. And here comes the attack. In the main base, no units in position. Creator already supply block is going to lose this battery. And that is painful. Oh, actually, super battery does get activated there for a second. Storms are connecting with actually quite a bit there. And he will hold. Good defense. Bunny also losing a lot of workers here. At least I believe it was quite a few. 9 workers killed total. It's only on 52 to 65. Fort base for Creator already done. And, mining as well. So, yeah, I'm kind of liking his position. I'm liking the position that Creator is in. Yes, he's lacking upgrades. Yes, he's lacking robo units. But if he can survive the next push, he could be in a pretty decent spot here. This is going to be the scary one. Because this is going to be with the Ghost. See, you have 3 Ghosts, 3 EMPs, 1 anti-armor missile, a bunch of mines in there as well. Misses the first EMP, that is a big deal. 1 storm is going to connect with at least 2 of those mines. You have more storms available up here. Here comes a massive flank. I wouldn't have minded just 1 more storm before you try going in here, bud. Just 1 more storm. Triple drop heading back into the main. Creator out of position. He's going to be pulled apart a little bit here. Pulls the probes away. Here we have an attack towards the high ground. Super battery is still available. 4 Immortals is quite a bit though. Creator playing this very, very patiently. Is going to try cleaning this up. Loses every single probe because of his own storm. But we'll push it back. Super battery does get activated as 1 Immortal gets sniped down. We have a Marine Marauder single Ghost army moving towards that top side. We'll be capable of taking out at least this pylon. I'm not sure how much more they can actually achieve. Oh, Not that much more, I guess. EMP is going to hit on the Templar. Templar will still have a storm available. Plenty of energy where that came from. There's no storms with this army. That seems like a mistake to me. The rest of the Immortals, where are they? They're just moving towards the top side. This is actually kind of scary. This is kind of a scary position right now for Creator. Creator's gonna start his +2 as well. Does not have a very big army. Wants to go in for a base trade, perhaps. Needs those storms to stay alive. Hits a very big one. With that Observer providing so much vision, it's gonna make life so much easier. There we go. Tank gets taken out. Are there more storms available anywhere? I think the answer is yes. We have one more storm available, but Bunny instead is walking straight up this ramp. Taking a good position here. Bunch of Archons around, no EMPs available. And Archons versus no EMPs are actually pretty darn good. Super Battery gets activated as well here. I think Bunny is backing himself into a corner. Needs to somehow get the pickup without losing all these medevacs, and will lose one, as well as the Viking. That is a -10, 12 supply right there. Bunny's position not quite looking as strong as before. His Creator now has 1400 minerals in the bank as well as 600 gas. Has the ability to throw down whatever he wants, but he needs a calm moment. He's been defending, he's been fighting this entire time, and not had the time to add in new infrastructure. Now he does and is not quite doing it. That is a little bit disappointing, because he really needs it. There's 2k in the bank, could get a fourth, well, a fifth base, already has a fourth of course. Fourth base for Bunny also now finishing up. His armory has completed. This +2 is halfway done. Do we have a second eBay? No second eBay. There's no second forge still yet either though for Creator. So both players on pretty low upgrades. Creator still not with a transition into anything like Disruptors or maybe even Colossus. Just anything out of the robot that has some type of splash would be fantastic here in my opinion. Instead we see Creator just playing a very calm game here, using his Templar, trying to drop them one by one, but the ghost count is perhaps a little bit too high at this point. EMPs are going to connect with, well, a pylon and a battery. The battery is going to be empty. Super Battery can still be activated, of course. Here comes the attack. Bit of a flank from the left side. Still 1900 minerals in the bank for Creator. This looks like an okay-ish fight here for Bunny. It really does. One more storm is definitely going to help out. A huge warp in here would be fantastic, like 10, 12 zealots, but the gateway count simply isn't there. Bunny's still gonna get pushed back. The 2 mines will remain. This fight went, well, it ended much better than I thought for Creator. Still floating a lot of money. Now finally adding those gateways. No ghost still alive anymore in this army. That means that mines are going to be the only real thing that will help out Bunny. Bunny's still, well, higher in army supply. A lot of that, though, is, of course, in these medevacts. Liberators now trying to show up over here. Liberators so useful in these types of situations. Great blink. Nice movement here. Out of Creator. Not so sure if that's going to be enough, though. Just slowly but surely, he's losing a bit of momentum in my mind. That final warp in wasn't quite it either, and now Bunny is the one that's pushing his opponent back. 5 mines, 6 mines still remaining. There's 2 more over here towards the right side. An army that consists of 8 mines, and the opponent doesn't have Colossus or Disruptors. That is going to be an issue here for Protoss. That is going to be a massive issue. 75 army supply to 37. And I don't really see a way for Creator to hold this topside base right now. All that Bunny needs to do is just relax and take it easy. Nothing else. Just sit back on top of your mines. As long as there's no Observer, there's nothing to worry about here. Observer finally in production. There's one out. It's going to move towards a more open area. Storm is going to connect in a big way. The control on Bunny's army has not been brilliant so far. It really hasn't been. One Observer will get cleared there, as he's moving back towards his safe space, really, with all those mines. Still only a single robotics facility. Creator hasn't been below 1k minerals in quite a while, as I say that he drops below 1k for the first time. Does have 13 gateways right now, so really upped his production. No 5th base yet, though. Bunny continues mining from 4 as well. Medevac's fairly low from the constant stimming. No EMPs available anymore, but Ghost by themselves has pretty decent damage output anyway, so it's not the end of the world. That cannon's actually being quite annoying there, isn't it? It really is. Providing a bit of vision, or detection, range. As well as taking out that one mine just now. This is a nasty position to be in as Creator. But Creator's real good at these fights, always very patient. Get a big scan here coming out. As it seems like Bunny slowly but surely is walking away with this game. Look at the amount of units that Bunny has. Now moving forward with a lot of these mines, EMPs, well, not there anymore after these feedbacks. That was a good, nice line of feedbacks. These Archons most likely gonna get taken out. No, Bunny not ballsy enough to snipe them. And doesn't have any EMPs anymore. Once again, we'll be forced into going back home. Ooh, a little bit slow that we're utilizing the boost as well. We'll end up saving those 2 ghosts still. It feels like Bunny should have been winning like 5 times again and again and again. But it ain't happening. These mines are gonna get picked up, or at least one of them will get picked up. Maybe second one. It's a missed target fire there coming out of Creator. I think I'm doing a good job controlling his army. Observer is important. There's lots of zealots here still. 87 army supply against 55. What are we gonna do, Creator? What are we going to do? You tell me, brother. Is there a DT with this army? Yeah, there is. I'd love to see that one across the map. Yeah, now turrets are already being constructed. Having shown that, I think it would have been much smarter to use it as like a distraction tool rather than as a defensive unit. If you can get like 10 worker kills, that actually makes it's a big difference. But that Creator really needs to start thinking about a 5th base. Well, he doesn't need to start thinking about it. He probably should have finished thinking about it a while ago. Right now he should be thinking about getting an 8th or a 7th base. He just hasn't been expanding for the past, well, 8-9 minutes or so. He's just been sitting on the same amount of bases. And his opponent is doing the same thing. But eventually this CC is just going to float towards the right side. And then Creator's going to be in trouble when it comes to the eco. Bunny coming in. Different type of setup this time. We still have those Templar in that prism. And here come the aggressive scans. Prism. Gonna hit one storm. Stalkers cleaning up the mine from behind. That's actually a real nice setup. I love that. One more storm available. So far, Creator probably with the best possible fight. Is it going to be enough though? There's still 2 EMPs remaining. That means these Archons are gonna drop quite low. DT's in the mix though, dishing out some damage as well as medevacs running low. Have to evacuate. Extremely good fight here coming out of Creator. Extremely good fight. This position looked impossible to break. He used the Stalkers to clear the mines. He used Templar in the prism in the main. And now he's finally taken out this very annoying mine that was blocking his 5th base for such a long time. I think Bunny needs to just sit back at home for a little while. Realize what mistakes he's made and say, hey, am I still allowed in this game? Well, he's still allowed in the game. He's getting his +3 as well. He's up in upgrade. He's getting his 5th is almost done. So yes, I think that technically Bunny is still ahead, but the way that these fights have been going, it almost feels like Creator's just much better at fighting. Much better at fighting. The ghost count isn't actually as high as I thought either. It's only at 2 with a 3rd one on the way. So even if you go up to, let's say, what, 9, 10 ghosts, then all of a sudden Creator's army becomes much worse. But right now there's only 3. That's not enough. It is not enough. This particular ghost does have 2 EMPs. Mine production continues on as well. Total this game we've lost 39 mines, 98 zealots, 123 marines. Just some random numbers out there. Liberators perhaps in some trouble to get pulled back just now. So again, I think Bunny just needs to play this way more careful. Just kind of sit and relax. Like, he has the army that gets much better over time. 200 versus 200. If you're fighting Ghost versus a pure Gateway Templar army, the Ghost army is always gonna end up winning. Here comes a pre-split. It's okay. Second storm does hit in a pretty big way. As Creator's army a little bit spread out, then Bunny seems to just be winning this anyway. It's a little over-aggressive in my opinion a lot of the time. Just trying to dodge these zealots. Liberators now sieging up, and 94 supply to 73. Creator 50 workers. Bunny on 44, but Bunny of course still has these triple mules as well. Which is going to play a decently sized role here in getting that eco back up. A little bit more money coming in for Bunny currently. +3 also about to finish up. And it's just going to be up 1 upgrade. These DTs being used in the army the entire time is still... Well, I understand it, but at the same time it's kind of annoying. I really wish you would have sent one out to clear some SCVs over here earlier. That was nice, but practically useless as well. If you don't have an observer to clear it, and you can't clear it. Big scan here coming in. Observer is just navigating around that. Gonna see one more scan here. Oh, almost didn't get it. Still no 5th base up here, and Creator right now in a position where he needs to attack into his opponent. And I think Bunny is aware of it as well. And I think this is the first time where Bunny is really aware of that. He's adding 3 more gases. He's just sitting back and relaxing. And I think he should have done this a while ago. Just sitting back and relaxing, really. 80 supply to 40. So this is going to be very difficult. When I say very difficult, I mean almost impossible. GG gets called. Creator loses game number 1. Bunny takes the map here on Babylon. Probably the best Terran map in the best of 3 map pool. So Creator's not going to be too sad, but he had a lot of opportunities there to win it, taking a faster 5th. Second map is going to be played here on Grassvan as we see a Reaper Wall opener out of Creator. Now, in the past few months, we've seen, weeks, in the last 6 weeks or so, we've seen a lot less Reaper Walls because Terran players have been killing the walls. Their entire strategy has been based on destroying the wall. You could call it the reverse Trump in a way. They'll get 6 to 8 Marines, a medevac and a cyclone off of 2 gas, and they'll just take out the pylon, the cybernetics core, and the gateway. And because Protoss often against these early pushes needs a battery to fight it properly, they can't, and they'll end up losing, well, about 400 minerals worth of buildings, and also some production, which can be quite frustrating. Now, my good friend Firefly, Chinese Protoss player, for the people who are not aware of him, he decided he had a good solution to that. So he built a Reaper Wall, and then build a battery here on the high ground, and then use that in combination with Phoenixes to actually defend this wall, and it worked. So he baited out the wall destroyer, and then actually managed to beat it. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Then I've seen him try it 2 more times, and he just built a blind battery for no reason whatsoever on the high ground. So, you win some, you lose some, and maybe he should just quit doing it after once, because now, well, no one wants to do it against him anymore. But I guess that's some type of a victory as well. We have a Twilight Council into a robotics facility. Look at that. No blink starting yet. Robo first. It's going to be a 2nd gate, and now I can't look into the future. But in my mind, we're also going to see a 3rd gate here. Okay, I think that is correct. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think I'm correct. Hellion here, running around the map, trying to find if it... Look at this Reaper scouting path. And then the Hellion to follow up, literally scouting every single corner on this entire map, making sure that there's no proxy available. Now, Bunny is going to get a surprise of a lifetime when he hears about the War Prism and that proxy pylons aren't as common anymore. He's like, wait, you're telling me there is a unit that can do the same as a proxy pylon? It can fly, and it provides a 2nd blink to the army? That sounds darn balanced. It indeed is going to be a 4-gate blink all in. I thought it was going to be 3-gate maybe, but 4 gates also fine. You know, I'm very open-minded when it comes to the amount of gateways that someone can build. You know, the days of just 2 gates being the standard is over. It's time for polygamy with gateways, basically. You can have as many as you want at this point in the, you know, on 2 bases. I think 3, 4, and also, you know, 2 is also completely fine. It's an okay thing to have. Oh, look at this medevac. It's not gonna get spotted. Gets to go in over here. Blink not quite done yet. 4 minutes and 35 seconds into the game. 2 more Stalkers do get warped in, and I think as a result, 1 Stalker will fall. 2 mines will go down as well, and as Creator has seen the Hellion, he now knows there is no more threat whatsoever on the map. This is really important, because now he can just straight up move across the map. I actually think that, oh my god, he went for Raven before tank. So usually this tank is a little bit quicker. Now it's quite late, because this what he didn't entire. I'm not quite sure what he did here, but this Raven was really fast. But it must have been Raven before tank. Like the tech lab of the factory went onto the starport, and then he built a new tech lab. So tank delayed by 18 seconds or so. I think that's what ended up happening here. Or he just forgot to build a tank. That's also possible. Safe to say it doesn't look so great right now here for Bunny. Luckily does have this tank in a great position. Had Creator decided to go in towards the natural, I'm pretty sure that Bunny would have straight up died. Second tank now coming forward. Creator kind of eyeing a blink forward here. No, it's gonna retreat. Still has these 4 stalkers down here as well. Third base not quite on the way yet. Oh, 2 more stalker warping. Bunny now spots that all the stalkers are still on the main once again. Quickly needs to retreat with those marines up onto the high ground. Is that enough stalkers here to one-shot a tank? I don't think it is. It's gonna blink on top of it for a double volley. It's not quite gonna get it. Requires 3 volleys on that. Here's the second group of stalkers. Now perhaps could go to the other tank. Is that a possibility here? No, just moving forward for now. Blinks on top of this. Takes out the second tank. Goes for tank... Tank number 3, I guess. Absolutely terrible game here so far for Creator, who ends up blinking down. Yes, has destroyed a bunch of tanks and resources lost looks close, but this Nexus is so darn late. Stim is almost done already. +1 is almost done. And I think that the pressure that Creator is going for here should end pretty soon. He has one more shot, as these Marines are deciding to fight away from the bunker without Stim, without an SCV pool. And as a result, Creator gets probably the best trade he has had so far. It's gonna warp in 4 more Blink Stalkers. I appreciate that move because he needs to deal some damage. Creator is not in a spot right now where he can just go back home, play a macro game. No, he's in the type of spot where he needs to kill 15 more workers and then the game might be even. This is not looking so great for him. Next 3 Stalkers also jumping in. Stim has finished up. Here come the SCVs off the line. It is 25 Marines versus 12 Stalkers. Where are all those Marines though? This only feels like it's 13. There are 4 in the natural. Where's the rest? Is there a... Oh, there's a medevac on the map. That's going to be 8 Marines. They're going to be unloading here near the third base. Combat shield not quite done yet. Recall will need to be used. As at the same time, this bunker under heavy fire. Actually, this might be a bit of a base trade. This third base is perhaps toast, but at the same time, this natural is also toast. Look at how many of these Marines are going down already. I think Creator wants to go in a little bit further even. Now decides to once again try and snipe a tank. Doesn't quite succeed. A little bit of a weird trade there as he recalls, loses the prism, and is now in a position where he might just basically be dead. 79 supply to 83. There is a third CC, that's almost done. There are barracks 4 and 5 on the way. We have a prism coming in, 2 more gateways, charge. No forge though, no extra tech. So yes, the supply looks pretty darn close, as, well actually Creator's even ahead by 1. But if you take a look at the infrastructure, at the economy, and just at the overall upgrades, this doesn't look so great here. Oh, this is a good move though. This is definitely going to help Creator getting back into this game, as we see an unload here of those 8 Marines. All 8 Marines and the medevac will end up falling. There's a blink available on this Stalker, not even necessary. Okay, 6 Marines and a medevac went down there. That's 8 supply that Creator wins for free once again. Bunny, what are you doing? It's gonna lose a second medevac. That is a full 10 supply. Yeah, if you lose 18 supply for absolutely free, not killing anything, all of a sudden this game looks a little bit worse, obviously. Still gonna get a blink back here. Creator believes he might have an opportunity. Creator was all-inning already, so getting those, well, that 2018 supply is pretty darn nice. Extra gases on the way, double forges as the first Colossus also starts. Creator's gonna blink away. Takes a little bit of splash damage on one of these Stalkers. Some rookie moves there coming out of our South Korean Terran player, who's up 1-0 already and honestly had this game in his hand. Now he dropped it a couple of times. Medevac's way too far behind. Kinda slacking, kinda lacking. Yep, one of them is gonna get snipered here. Yeah, without those supply loss, it would be 140 to 115. +1 upgrades versus 0-0. I mean, I ain't saying it's over, but it would have been pretty darn over. Ghost Academy now on the way, as a bunker even went down here. Bunny feels like he's forced into a defensive posture. Battery plus cannon starts here at the, once again, kind of a weird location for the fort base. Bunny now trying to move on the map, still has that Raven available, which means that a single Colossus ain't going to hurt him too much. And even 2 Colossus aren't going to hurt him too much because, well, he also has a second interference matrix. This is a small army out here. There's a lot, though. Still at home, could just make a rotation towards the fort base. Would love to see an army split. He's playing quite slow. I know that Bunny so far has been, well, he won game number 1, has been very far ahead in game number 2. But the play has not been clean at all. It has not been clean whatsoever. It's been quite slow. Lots of reinforcements often staying at home for no real reason. Slow at taking map control. Kind of risky drops that don't make a whole lot of sense in the position he was in. So I've not been a huge fan. Creator trying to get back into the game here because that's really what he is doing. He's not, you know, this is not an even game. He needs to somehow get a good fight. And then hopefully kind of, you know, use that momentum to do something. Very little map vision as well, look at that. Almost no map vision whatsoever. Good pre-split though, as Creator is ready for multitasking, except it's not multitasking. Bunny's moving forward. It's gonna siege up over here. Quickly, Creator comes back home with this, or comes back to the fort with this army. 2 Colossus and Archon. It's actually a pretty big army. Would love to see a feedback somehow on this Raven. Without a feedback, this fight is going to be real difficult. With a feedback, this fight is still going to be real difficult. Loving the probes here. Creator is so good at setting up these engagements. Here comes Interference Matrix number 1. Goes for the Prism. Second one on the Colossus. It feels like Bunny got completely kind of surprised here by this flank. Was unaware that there was another part of this army. He's just gonna get blasted completely. This wasn't even close. Positioning not the greatest there. So he forgot about the ability to flank. Which is a pretty common thing to see at the highest level. Especially out of Creator, who's so good at setting up these fights. Now we have, what, 7, 8, 9 gateways. Pushing forward with 1-1 on 58 workers. Once again to stress how all-in Creator really is and was. It's like he didn't have a future in this game at all. 58 workers, that is nothing. We now have these mines splitting up. Bunny trying to stay alive. If Bunny stays alive with this worker count and his +2 finishes up, he's still going to be in a fine position. Mines are now connecting with different probes. There's no detection at home at all. I do believe that Creator is going to be capable of pushing through here. Because there's not enough mines, really. There's one here, there's one here. There's no Ghost Eater in the composition. Nah, Creator, you actually need to go. You can't go home, buddy. This ain't it. No, you can't go home. These mines are gonna shoot once more. Creator is planning on going back home. This is a mistake. This is a real mistake. Ghosts are going to finish up right now. 59 workers to 50. The mines continue dealing damage. Haven't been used for target fire yet. It's possible that Bunny actually gets caught out of position a little bit. Might lose the fort base. Oh, this is a nice rotation here, Creator. Blast both of these mines pre-fight. Will mine on the right side get unburrowed as well? Some good blink, making space for the Zealots as well. Vikings not really dishing out too much damage. Control out of Creator, as always, is good. 1 Colossus is gonna fall. There's a lot of SCVs now going down. 84 supply to 127. GG gets called. Creator ties up the series and forces out the ace match for GSL qualification. That brings us to game number 3. This is in a way, it's kind of a stolen game, you know? This is not a game that Creator was allowed to play anymore. He was supposed to be out. I mean, this didn't look so good in that last game. I'm very surprised. We'll see how he's going to approach this one. Creator, for people that don't know, Creator's been around for a long time. Was probably the best Protoss in the world for a period in, I want to say 2012. He was insanely good. I remember him playing like these double forge openers versus Terran, having just this solid response versus an almost unbeatable Zerg. And he always did it in a macro way. Back then you had Parting just all-inning his life away. But Creator, no. I'm sure he also all-inned. He actually all-ins a fair amount right now as well. But it was, in my mind, he was mainly a macro player. He was the guy that I looked up to, you know? He definitely was the guy that I looked up to. It's so funny that these people are still around and playing. And now I get to kind of interact with them. Remember, the first DreamHack I ever went to was like 2011. Remember taking like pictures with a lot of the guys, and then the next year I was playing with them, which was kind of surreal, you know. And then sometimes still, after playing with them, I still take a picture with them if I lost, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and still seeing Creator around. I met him last week at the Home Story Cup event in Krefeld. Had a good time with him. Such a kind person, creator. Really, really kind. Absolutely lovely individual. And it was actually 2 days, I think, before this got played. He had a couple of rough nights there. So I'm surprised and impressed by his ability to honestly play this darn well after the shenanigans we got up to over in Krefeld. All right. Because I think he flew home like a day before the GSL qualifiers were. So he had like one night to recover, basically, which is rough, especially given jet lag as well. I forgot about that fact. That's so funny. All right, Twilight Council here on the way for Creator, the man, the myth, the legend, who's done pretty well. Oh my god, what is Bunny doing? Bunny took 3 shots on his face from the Stalker before getting the SCV back into the bunker. I've said it before already today, but I've been a little bit disappointed in Bunny's ability so far. It just hasn't felt great. This is not the same Bunny that I know from before. Like, it just feels like he's a little bit slower. Everything just doesn't work quite as well. Still has the risks. I mean, we saw that in the last game with these medavacs, but didn't quite end up working out. It's always so hard as well to criticize risky players for taking risks, right? One of the main reasons why people like Gumiho and Hero and Dark are so good is because they take a lot of risk. And then when they lose and you go like, oh, what a huge mistake. Why would he take such a risk? It's like, well, you can't praise him when it works out and then criticize him when it doesn't, you know? You kind of need to look at it from a bit further away and be like, okay, sometimes it's going to win, sometimes it isn't going to win. I often feel like that certain risks that they take are not entirely necessary. That's the case with both Bunny and Hero specifically. I feel like if you're in a really good spot and you have the ability to kill your opponent perhaps in the next minute or so, I don't think now is the time to go for a risk. You know, you already got your W in the early game. Now you kind of leverage that into a win. You don't have to get even further ahead. Like, very often they have a kill timing already and then they kind of compromise that kill timing by taking another risk that isn't entirely necessary, just so that it could kill even easier, you know? Very often it will still end up working, but last game it truly did backfire. How did our friend open here? Oh, he's okay, 4 gas, 3 gate. This is a build I'm well familiar with. I think this will transition into a Templar Archives. And then a fast storm. So you're still going to get quite a bit of pressure. Yeah, here we go. With the 3-gate blink, not as much as with the 4-gate, and also just not as much in general. Like, it's still decent pressure. Don't get me wrong, it's decent pressure. That's what we should call it. Just decent, fine. You know, it's all right. We're all right. Just gonna shoot this thing. Puff! Alien explodes. Adios, my friend. Templar Archives on the way. Pretty fast 3rd base as well. So you see that this pressure is much less. It's not as powerful. Now there's something here, but yeah, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see what's going to be kicking up here. Templars being morphed already, as Storm should start soon as well then. You don't have to start it instantly. I often prefer getting Charge first, because Charge takes much longer to research than Storm. For Stalkers heading in towards the natural, with this Prism, we'll get, let's say, 4 kills maybe, before being picked up. Ooh. Definitely clear a couple of these Marines. There hasn't been a single tank build, by the way. This is real risky. If this was another 4-gate build, I actually do believe that... I actually do believe that Creator might have just straight up won. Now it's going to be a real fast timing attack. Storm still kind of far away, about 50 seconds. I can't count. Yeah, 50 seconds. I can't count. Beautiful. 1 Chrono Boost on there could definitely help out. Snipe that. I love this for Stalker to move in. This is dealing way more damage than I thought it would. Is that Prism still here? Now it's going to use the recall. Prism at home should be carrying those Templar. Oh, this is going to be real tight though for a hold. There's no battery at all. Storm not done yet. Of course, Bunny is not aware on whether there's Storm or not. Battery would be so big here against these Marauder send-ins. Triple turrets now going down. That's 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, 2, 3. Templar, half Storm, can use it, and that is some big storms there. Going to be covering majority of those Marines. Lots of cash available as the Prism dies versus this mine. Sloppy play there by Creator, but does manage to hold on, at least for now. Has 5 gateways only, which is very, very little. That's low production, if I've ever seen low production. Oi, 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 oi. We have... Okay, now this I adore this move. I don't know if it's going to work, but I love this move. Big decisive plays here coming out of Bunny saying, hey buddy, what do you have in your main base? And the answer is, well, not a whole lot. There are 2 Templar, neither of them right now ready with a Storm. Couple of seconds away, might get sniped just barely before. No, Storm now can be activated. Storm can now be activated. There we go, double Storms. Ooh, Stalkers moving in forward. Get a blink in. Get both of these medevacs. That is huge. Creator now in a massive lead in this game. The first game where he truly feels that he's in complete control. Barracks 4 and 5 are about to finish up as well. Double fortress get thrown down instantly. Fort base on the... What? What? Hello? Fort base here on the gold base. This is a pretty wild risk to take. And also, in my mind, not entirely necessary, because he has such good control of the map. And he can do whatever he wants. This... Like, Bunny is a crazy guy, you know? Bunny is the type of guy that sends out a double medevac drop towards the left side right now. Just because he feels like it. Then wants to boost into the main base. Even if there's 12 Stalkers there, he's gonna boost in, you know? That is how Bunny rolls. If anything, the further he's behind, the riskier his plays get. Creator also taking a bit of a risk here. Sees that there's a mine set up on this ramp. I love... This is something that Creator and Hero... and I guess Max Packs to a certain extent do so freaking well. Their ability to move on the map with just Stalkers and deal damage. Look at this. Snipes 1 ghost, baits an EMP. So there were 2 ghosts out. 1 died, the other one used all of its energy. It's brilliant. It actually is brilliant. Now we have these... nice little rally point there, making sure that they pop off on the correct side. Man, I really, really like this. And EMP got used here for that observer, which is, you know, it's all fun, but it also means there's no EMPs in this army. There's just a single EMP in this army, which is just very little EMPs. Oh. Okay, Stalkers do get spotted here. 1 mine gets taken out versus a Stalker. I actually like that trade for Creator. Money-wise, it's pretty close. Perhaps not skate. Oh my god, look how many Immortals he has. He has so many Immortals. 5th base now being taken as well for Creator. It's going to be up 2 bases. Going to be significantly outmining his opponent because this is a real efficient base when it comes to probe to income ratio. So that gold base is now paying off already. That gold base has paid off already, most likely. You mine from there, from what, like 50 seconds, 40 seconds, you're good to go. Zealot run by coming in. There's 2 Zealots as well going in towards the 3rd. Some Max Packs like plays over here. Bunny has taken back map control though. Or at least is trying to take back map control. No armory out yet, which means that these mines can shoot once and that's it. It's actually kind of crazy that we don't have an armory yet. The reason for that is because Bunny is just going for a 3 base all in. There is no 4th. He's not adding any SCVs at all. And he's producing from these 5 racks. 2 robos pumping Immortals, 2 at a time. We now have another gateway, well, another 3 gateways coming in. Up to 8 gases as well. I mean, this is just a situation in which if Creator survives for another 40 seconds, he wins the game, right? If 2-2 finishes, it's 100% over. But even now, if he just doesn't die versus the upcoming push, he should 100% win. He's maxed out. He has a lot of production behind all of this. He's getting his disruptors in, which I think is great. Has Templar spread all around these bases as well, which is just going to be fantastic when it comes to defending these pushes. There's not a lot of map vision, though. That is the one thing we could perhaps criticize him for. Lacking a little bit in the middle. Doesn't have as much on the far left. Zealot run by now getting sent in towards the natural. 50 SCVs versus 76 workers on the side of Creator. Bunny not gonna wait for his max out. Has 1 SCV with this army for whatever reason. Vikings dishing out a lot of damage. Here comes a feedback and a Storm. Storm is big. Storm is huge. Super battery is big. It's huge. Templar on this side could now perhaps throw something down on these Templar. These mine. Okay. That's gonna hit 2 out of the 3 mines. If the next one hits a bit, well, a similar amount, that would be huge. Every second that goes by is a good second here for Creator, as he is looking for something, and he's gonna find a mine shot to the face. He's gonna lose the Observer as well. His army is fairly low when it comes to health. There are a few medevacs still available. Disruptor now moves forward. I think that is misrallied. No, it's not. Maybe this was controlled. Okay, well, these 2 mines are gonna end up dying. At the same time, Bunny in a world of trouble here. Just more and more zealots. Now DT's also running in. Creator just being so careful about all of this. He doesn't want to rush in. He says, hey, I have Templars in most of my base. I think there's a Templar in the main still. No, there's not. And Bunny needs to commit to something at some point. There's no super battery available. Now the force from the left side need to actually come and help out. This is not big enough, this army. 130 supply to 98. Creator. He's just relaxing. He says, I can hold this with a super battery. It's gonna get a huge storm there on top of all of the bio, and that should be it, as the rest of the army shows up as well. GG gets called. Creator qualifies for the GSL by taking out Bunny with a 2-1 score. Phenomenal performance out of our Korean Protoss player. We're going to be seeing him back in the GSL. That's going to be it from me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.